School's canceled, work's canceled, and you can't even wipe your ass due to people buying every roll of toilet paper within a 20-mile radius. Then you find out that your coworker has tested positive, and now you're on mandatory quarantine. You're gonna have a lot of free time, but what are you gonna do with it? I think that I have the answer. Look, so one inherent benefit of being in VR is that you don't actually have to go anywhere to go somewhere. You can be comfy in your own home while simultaneously being anywhere in the world. Take Google Earth for example. Travel may be banned practically worldwide, and many people have lost out on a lot of money in plane tickets, like my flight to Amsterdam, but hey, at least I can pretend like I'm there. And if you're a real thrill seeker, you can even take a trip down to Ground Zero and feel like you're actually at the center of the pandemic. You can even pretend like you're an incredibly brave person and provide aid at the same time. Just go down to Street View, then download Folding at Home. This is a software that allows a research company to use your computer as a resource for the complex calculations needed to provide a cure for COVID-19. See, so you could be on site, travel the world, and help in providing a cure for the virus, all while in the comfort of your new prison. Being a first responder is certainly hard, but in case this virus wasn't quite enough for you, I've got an experience in VR that will make you happy that respiratory problems are usually the extent of the issues you'll face if you do get infected. Pop open Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. In this world, instead of getting a cough after getting sick, you turn into a man-eating, brainless zombie. So rather than end up on live leak after beating someone senselessly when they coughed on you in line to stock up on canned beans, you could just grab a hammer in VR and live out your sick fantasies. Plus, this gives you a great point of perspective. I mean, it could always be worse. You could be alone in a pandemic where your next door neighbor is trying to eat your flesh. But no, the reality of the situation is that you're in a pandemic where everyone is buying toilet paper. You may get a really bad cough, maybe a raw bum, but you'll more than likely make a decent recovery, assuming you're not really young or old or don't have any pre-existing conditions, or you just got really unlucky and it gets bad. Yikes. Still better than a zombie outbreak, I suppose. See, sometimes all it takes is a little virtual reality to get a grasp on how good reality actually is. Plus, bashing on the undead's heads can be a great stress relief. But now, of course, we gotta fill the void of interpersonal relationships. If there's one thing that will make you go absolutely crazy, it's being trapped inside your house for days on end with no one to talk to. Since I'm guessing running past the CDC guards outside your house carrying rifles just to talk to your favorite barista probably isn't the best idea, the next best thing is to meet people and talk to them on a social application online. There's no better way to do this than in VR and within VR chat. Here you could walk around, hug people, dance, have arguments, and do everything in between. Can't take your girl on a date because Burger King has been shut down? Easy. Buy her a headset and take her to the Great Pug for a great time. Need to have a business conversation? FaceTime is overrated. No one wants to really look at faces anyways. Throw on your best avatar and have your business conference all while in VR chat. The company will love it, I assure you. If you're more of the party type and you've been seriously missing out on bar hopping, then rest easy, my friend. The land of VR chat has many clubs and bars, and you could get equally wasted with your friends in any one of them, just as you could in real life. Even if you're looking to take someone home for some closer interactions, this is all similarly possible within VR. If the conversation hits off right, just bring your special someone back to a private world and you could head pat each other in front of a mirror all night long. No risk of disease transmission, no worries of quarantine babies, and you'll come out the other side being a more well-rounded and experienced individual. Be wary though, even though you'll stay COVID-free within VR chat, there's various other types of cancers and diseases that you should avoid within the world. Take this as a really quick guide to staying nice and clean. First, if you see a mirror in game, you'll also likely see a group of people huddled around it staring at their own reflection. Whatever you do, don't make eye contact with yourself in the mirror. You'll be drawn in just like everyone else gathered around it. And before you know it, hours have passed, you haven't said a word, and your avatar is burned into your headset's display. I mean, the addiction can get so strong that people will fight over a space in the tiniest mirror available. Just do yourself a favor and stay clear away. If you're a new user, you may find yourself drawn to obnoxious avatars that play loud sounds or or elicit a response out of people around you, either through shaders or screen pop-ups. Once again, I urge you to resist. If you thought you were alone in your house being quarantined, well, that's nothing compared to being in VR chat where the whole lobby has blocked you and you're practically a ghost that can see everyone else having fun, but you can't participate. There's a lot of fun to be had in VR chat, and it's a great way to pass the time while itching that social urge that we all have, but users' discretion is advised. Look, so with the world going on complete lockdown, and some people even getting arrested for public gatherings, one thing that we're all going to miss out on is movie theaters. Most movie theaters are completely shut down at the moment, which makes sense. Cramming 60 people into a room for 2 hours, shoulder to shoulder, probably isn't exactly the best way to slow the spread of the virus. But you don't have to completely miss out on the movie theater experience. Just open up big screen. Here, not only can you join public lobbies and watch simple YouTube with people, but you can even go to Big Screen's own cinema and watch 3D movies that are actually streamed at a decent bitrate. And here's the best part. You even have to buy your own ticket to attend. It feels just like in the real life movie theaters, except you could make your own popcorn and tickets only cost $5 instead of $15. And you may be thinking, why in the world would I want to strap a VR headset on for 2 to 3 hours to watch a movie when I could just sit on my couch and do the exact same thing? You know, just without having the annoying headset on. Well, there are a few things that VR can offer while watching a movie in big screen that you can't get on your home TV or laptop. One, you could watch movies essentially in IMAX 3D on a giant screen. And two, which is far more important to someone obviously lonely from being quarantined, you get to watch the movie with people. That feeling of wanting to throw popcorn at the dude that's talking through the whole movie can be perfectly replicated like you're at the real deal. And if it gets really bad, you have the power of mute, which in my opinion is a giant upgrade over real life theaters. You know, nothing is more indicative of a healthy, bustling society full of young people than a good old night at the bars, am I right? And what happens when you get a bunch of chads in a room filled with alcohol? You get a drunken bar fight. Now, this is obviously a time of the past, now that bars are closed all over the world for obvious reasons. But hey, while society crumbles around you, you can simulate what it felt like to be one of those very chads, with the very telling title of Drunken Bar Fight. If you were one of the very smart people and stocked up on booze instead of toilet paper or canned goods, then you're in luck, because you could really feel immersed in this game if you actually get drunk. Why have the game simulate your drunkenness when you could just take care of that part yourself? I mean, the game isn't called Sober Bar Fight, it's Drunken. So pop a few bottles open if you're of age, you got them all to yourself, and go punch someone. Well, it's now Saturday morning. You've spent the past night socializing in VR chat, you caught a sick rerun of Transformers in big screen, then you got completely blasted by yourself in a room while fighting NPCs, all without getting arrested. You may have a blistering headache, but at least you can't tell if it's from COVID or from the copious amounts of alcohol you consumed. The best thing you could do at this point is to drink some good old H2O and get a workout in to quickly get over your hangover. Now, this is the real test for if your migraine is virus-induced or booze-induced. Start Beat Saber or O-Shape or whatever your favorite rhythm game is and play on the hardest difficulty you can muster. If you nearly collapse from shortness of breath after a few minutes, well, tough luck, son, but you're infected. Maybe. I'm not a doctor and you should honestly take zero advice from me. I'm joking. I'm not responsible for any incorrect diagnosis. And if you do end up actually collapsing from Beat Saber, don't at me. But this is still my guide on to not only survive a quarantine using VR without going absolutely crazy, and how to self-diagnose if you're infected. Not really. Jokes aside, if you're looking at this positively, I guess if you can, this is just a great opportunity to catch up with some old virtual friends, knock out playing some good games you've been putting off due to lack of time, and just enjoy being alive and mostly healthy. Of course, this video was a joke and it's making light of the current situation, but a lot of what's happening should still be taken extremely seriously. But that doesn't mean we can't laugh a little to cope with some of the scary shit that's going on. I know how I'm going to be spending my next few weeks of self-quarantine, and that's playing Half-Life Alyx because, well, it drops today, the day this video comes out. And I'm going to be streaming it on my Twitch, and I got a few copies to give away. So if you want a chance at your own copy of Half-Life Alyx, then hop in the chat. Otherwise, I really hope that you enjoy, and I seriously hope that you all stay safe and healthy. Really, your safest bet is to put on your headset and don't take it off until we're out of this whole thing. Actually, don't don't do that. That might be just as dangerous. Either way, I want to thank all of my amazing Patreon supporters for practically sponsoring this video, since there's no way in hell this is not going to get demonetized. Especially my Omega Patreons like Exit, Very Evil Shadow, and Zimph. I couldn't be doing any of this without you, especially weird one-offs like this. Don't forget to like this video if you loved it, subscribe if you want more of this, and hit that freaking bell if you just can't live without it. Much love, Thrill out.
I love you, I do need you, I do love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you.